Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and to be Toastmaster. I am Toastmaster Anurag, the standing sergeant at arms for today's meeting. Welcome you all to the 35th meeting of Virtual Masters Club. Now, before we begin the meeting, we shall go through the Toastmasters rules that we incorporate in a virtual meeting. First, do not unmute yourself unless and until it is your turn to speak, and after speaking, mute yourself again. Second, don't write anything inappropriate in the chat box. If your video is on, kindly make sure that you are sitting in an appropriate position. Do not keep turning on and off your video when someone is speaking. We do not talk about sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. And please keep your phone on silence or switched off mode. Now, I would like to call someone who is the guiding light, the shining star in the darkest. She's someone whom I look up to because of her calm and composed demeanor. She's not only the area director of Area Q3, but she's also the president of our club. Please help me welcome with a huge round of thunderous applause, Toastmaster Seema.
Thank you so much. Let's keep it going for our stand-in Sergeant at Arms, the ever helpful, ever present Toastmaster Anurag Jain. And it is a bit emotionally that I can say that I am really glad that Anurag has introduced me today as probably the last meeting that I will be the president of this club. And it gives me great pleasure that Anurag has done it because I have a very soft corner for him. I've known him for years at Toastmasters, and he is a charming, charming young man. Well, thank you so much, Anurag, and welcome everyone once again to the 35th meeting of Virtual Masters Club. 35th and very, very, what can I say? It's a very important meeting for all of us in the sense that the executive committee, this is the last meeting of this term of the executive committee members, and I'm sure we know that we all have done a fantastic job. The last meeting also because today is traditionally the Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. Now, Boxing Day, I'm sure most of you know the story behind it. The tradition behind it is in the Western culture, the day of Christmas is very important. Everybody, they celebrate Christmas, go to church, have parties at home. So what happens to that category of people and the families who are the support system or the so-called servants or the household help? They need a break. So today, apparently the day after Christmas is the day when people box the presents for the servants or the household help to give them a break, so that they can celebrate Christmas. Why I bring about this story is because I hope you heard most of the story. I was talking about Boxing Day.
Yeah, we heard most of your story.
Okay, so why I brought about the story is because the term servant or help, I always relate that to Toastmasters because we are all servant leaders, so to speak, whether you are simply a member or you are in an executive committee or you are helping out the district in any way. We are all leaders, the servant leaders. And believe me, in Toastmasters, we do not get a break. We have to continue no matter what. And this is exactly what we Toastmasters love doing. And as the president of Virtual Masters Club, it has given me immense pleasure to be at your service this past 6 months. And I hope to continue to do so in the upcoming years to come as Virtual Masters Club is going places. So I will continue with the meeting. As I can see, we do not have any guests, but we have our new member, Aingang Chu. I hope I've got your name pronounced correctly. He's joining in, I think, for the second time as a member. Right. I would just like your feedback. Feedback means your opinion, how you felt the first time that you came in here as a member for the last meeting.
Thank you, Ma'am President Seema Ramesh. Well, this is my second meeting, as she told you everyone, but I am part of this club for the third session. because in another session I was part of the table topics contest also.
Okay.
So I have seen few people. I have met few people, obviously on the virtual platform only, and everybody is very cordial and very friendly, and hoping to have a good time and a good relationship in the forthcoming year.
Great.
And all
Yes,
the best,
you
and
will.
everybody happy New Year.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you have taken up a role also today. I'm sure you'll find this very interesting and very exciting today. Well, moving on, our meetings, as you all know, are recorded as minutes of the meeting by our secretary, Toastmaster Shalu. But since this is the last meeting today, she has decided to do a double dhamaka. She will be recording this meeting as well and then presenting it to the group for as the minutes of the meeting. She decided to do something special and she's not present also today. So we'll have a look at the minutes of the meeting maybe later today or tomorrow and we can approve it. Well, a typical Toastmasters meeting is conducted by a host or the Toastmaster of the day. It gives me great pleasure to introduce young members of our club who come out with taking up roles, taking up the challenges. And one gentleman Toastmaster is Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra. He has made an impact on us with his fantastic speeches, memorable speeches, and he has taken up the role of Toastmaster of the Day earlier. But he is very well known amongst us very personally because of his awesome background views that he has. And today I can see the tricolor all over again. So I'm assuming what he's going to do with his role today. So with a huge round of applause, please help me welcome Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra as the Toastmaster of the Day. Ashutosh, the virtual podium is yours.
Let us hear for our President Toastmaster Seema Ramesh. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. I sincerely appreciate your continuous support and encouragement. And that's something which certainly keeps us going. So good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and respected guests. Ma'am said there's no one. So are you ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Yay. No, please don't start running. Please don't start running. Please don't start running. Though we have an evaluation competition today, but I do not have authority to start that competition. So you may be wondering, then what is this 1, 2, 3, go? Friends, on 13th March 1940, Michael O'Dwyer, erstwhile Lieutenant Governor of Punjab, was invited to speak in an event in Caxton Hall, London. It was during his tenure as Lieutenant Governor that the Jallianwala Bagh massacre occurred. 1,500 unarmed men, women, children succumbed to this indiscriminate firing by the British troops. As this meeting finished, I'm talking about Caxton Hall, a gentleman from the audience stood up and started firing shots as he went towards the speaking podium. And then it shot O'Dwyer. I was referring to these 2 bullets which were fired by this gentleman who was sitting in the audience on Lieutenant Governor O'Dwyer. I know now you want to ask that he fired only 2 bullets, but I said 1, 2, 3. I know you want to ask that Shahid-e-Azam Udham Singh only fired 2 bullets. What are these 3 bullets? Before I tell you more, let us look at how we will conduct our meeting today. Usually, all the Toastmasters meeting are divided into 3 sections. Today, our first section is going to be a mock evaluation contest or a mock evaluation competition. This is where we will invite a test speaker to come and deliver a speech, and then multiple participants are going to evaluate the speech and deliver the evaluation. The second section, a very interesting one, is our table topic section. In this section, the audience will volunteer to come up to the stage and speak on the topic chosen by them, chosen by the table topic master. Sorry. And the third section is the evaluation section, where our general evaluator will take us through the evaluation about his observations and ideas and how we can improve to do our meetings and our speech better. General evaluator for the evening is an affable leader. Currently, he is serving as the Assistant Club Growth Director East for District 41. When I asked him 3 things which he will like to do for our nation, his reply was very apt. Education for all, internet for all, and skilling for everyone so that all of us are self-reliant. With a big round of applause, I would like to call upon DTM Chayan. DTM Chayan, please introduce yourself and your team members today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. It is a pleasure being in this meeting today as a general evaluator. Now, in my role as a general evaluator, my role is to look at the entire meeting in its entirety. And this being an arduous role is something which I definitely cannot do all on my own. So I have 3 pillars of support, and these pillars are the ones who are going to aid me in having a line of sight on this meeting. These are in the form of the timer, the grammarian, and the R counter. Introducing first the timer, which is Toastmaster Ainangshu. May I request you to please explain your role? The virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator Chan. Today I am playing the role of a timer, wherein I will be keeping tab of time for all the evaluators, speaker, and the table topics. In that time, I will share the screen when the time is up for say when the test speaker will be there. At the speaker time is 5 to 7 minutes. I will share a green card at 5 minutes. Then at 6 minutes, there will be a yellow card. At 7 minutes, there will be a red card, and it will be up there for 30-second grace. Similarly, there will be a recess after the test speaker for the evaluators to speak. In between, there will be 5 minutes at that time. I'll straight away show the red card at the when 5 minutes is up in the recess. And for the evaluators, there will be a time limit of 2 to 3 minutes. That is 2 minutes, there will be a green card. Yellow card will be at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card will be at 3 minutes. It will be up there for 30 seconds. And for table topic, it will be 1 to 2 minutes, wherein green card will be shown at 1 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds will be a yellow card, and at 2 minutes there will be a red card, which will be up there for 30 seconds. Towards the end of the meeting, when called upon, I will share the times of everyone. So that is all from my part. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ainangshu. Just one small correction there is that the red card would be up till the time the speaker leaves the podium, and it definitely shows that the higher end of the time limit has been reached. With that, I move to my next pillar of support, which is in the form of the R counter. And for the R counter's role today, we have Toastmaster Manisha. Toastmaster Manisha, can you please explain your role? The virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Manisha, and today I'll be playing the role of the R counter. My role of R counter is to pay close attention to the crutch words and filler sounds used by the speakers. Crutch words like and, so, you know, actually, basically, like, and filler sounds are ah. Whenever a speaker uses the crutch and filler sounds more than 4 times, I'll say used multiple times. I'll also keep note of long pauses and inappropriate interjection. I urge all the speakers to avoid using the crutch words or filler sounds. I'll present my report when called upon to do so by the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Thank you. All the best to the speakers. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manisha. Well, my last pillar of support is actually a role that I love the most. It is someone who ensures that the language is on track. And in order to do so, we have the grammarian for the meeting. And the grammarian today is Toastmaster Shraddha. Toastmaster Shraddha, can you explain your role? The virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Toastmaster Shraddha Lama. I'm playing the role of a grammarian today. My role as a grammarian is to pay close attention to the good and the not so good usage of English language and provide suggestions for improvement. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce you the word of the day. The word of the day today is gallop. Gallop as a verb is to move or act quickly. In a sentence, I'll just use it for an example. I was galloping through my speech on my way today. That is one sentence for your for an example. Whoever uses this word of the day will be rewarded with virtual applause. All the best speakers. I hope you do not gallop through your speech today. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shraddha. Well, before we gallop through the evaluation marathon, I will definitely hand this back to the Toastmaster of the day, who's flying all high in the colors of patriotism. Over to you, Toastmaster Astush.
Thank you so much, DTM Chayan. Before we gallop and start our evaluation section, let me quickly tell you why we are talking about Shahid-e-Azam Udham Singh today. It was in year 1899, 26th of December is when he was born in a small village called Sangrur in Punjab. And when it was asked to him why he fired these 2 shots, he said with all the pride, "For full 21 years, I have been trying to seek my vengeance. I am happy that I have done the job. I am not scared of death. I am dying for my country. What great honor could I have bestowed on me than death for the sake of the nation?" Friends, when Shahid-e-Azam Udham Singh fired the first shot, he imagined that after independence, every brother and sister, every Indian will at least get the square meal. After 70 years, 70 plus years of independence, we as society, we as country are unable to provide even square meal to everyone. In order to do justice to that bullet he shot, let's promise ourselves today that we will not leave even a single grain of food on our plate when we are eating. Let's really plan well. Let's really prepare well when we cook food and when we eat food. And with that preparedness, I will like to invite our test speaker who is going to deliver the prepared speech in order to start the evaluation contest. So test speaker, podium is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh, for that wonderful narrative on Shahid Udham Singh. I am a woman, not because of the short willowy hair, which resemble the dark midnight, or these big expressive eyes, which make you want to drown in them, or the blush that obliviously creeps up to my cheek when I notice my crush staring at me. I am a woman because I bleed mentally and physically to create new lives and nurture new expectations. I am a woman because I burn in the fire of patriarchal oppression every single day and rise gloriously from the ashes to live my life on my own terms. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am Pratiti, and as all of you know and have already guessed, I am a feminist. The first thing I identify with is being a woman. And today, I'm going to walk you through all the stages of my life with my very own role players, my mother and grandmothers. I was born in a family where education was imperative and men and women were considered to be equal in every aspect. My maternal grandparents were doctors, while my paternal grandfather was a journalist and his better half, a freelance guitarist. I was pretty much shocked to hear that freelancing used to exist before 1950s too, and that's when I realized that we owe so many things to our previous generations. Coming back to my story, my father is an engineer and my mother a doctor. I was born on the 16th of June 1999 and named to be Pratiti, which meant faith. And indeed, my friends, till this date, my parents and family has shown such infinite faith in me that one day I would live up to their expectations and become the voice of the repressed. So I grew up being the apple of everyone's eyes, a child born after 10 years of marriage. Growing up, I was like any other child, save my excessive inquisitiveness. I hated maths, loved Barbies, had new crushes every week, which all of you at Toastmasters must already know. But I used to ask a lot, and I mean a lot of questions, all of which had feminist undertones to it. Why did Barbie always wear pink dresses while the lover was always shown in blue? Why did the man in the movie always make the first move while it could be the other way around too? My poor mother soon got tired of all my questions and introduced me to the panacea of all my queries, books. Now, the Iron Ladies of my life had brought me up with one mantra: be independent. I was free to pursue any ambition of mine, be it being a doctor, which I certainly didn't want to be, or marrying Jeff Bezos. But I had to be independent. I didn't quite understand what being independent meant in their diaries. To me, being independent was being free from any forms of subjugation. And in that sense, we were free, weren't we? We were free, we had freedom of speech, we were free to dance, we had freedom to sing, we were freedom to go about with our friends and everything. So what did they mean by being independent? But as I grew, you know what the problem was? The problem was that I was brought up in a household where the glaring disparities between men and women, old and young, master and servant, were not at all evident. All of us used to be meted equal treatment at our house, irrespective of age, gender, or class. But as I grew older and a little bit wiser, I realized that some barriers did exist which were only perceived and could not be seen, and were more prominent in the case of underrepresented sections like LGBTQ, the women, and the SCs, the STs, and the other backward classes. I witnessed how Sita of the neighborhood had to commit suicide when her parents couldn't arrange for a marital dowry. How Urmila auntie had to have a dinner after everyone in a house had finished having theirs. And this injustice, my friends, India will not be free until each and every one of a child is freed from the shackles of oppression. Today, I'm a proud gender activist and the content head at UN Girl of Kolkata chapter. I'm happy with my life and content that somewhat I'm doing something, somehow I'm doing something to ease the life of the oppressed. You might be wondering that this is an icebreaker speech. Why is she ranting on about the feminist ideals and principles? Well, my friends, I am a woman, and this is the first thing I identify with. But what good would ideals and principles be when not expressed in a fruitful manner? How would I become the voice of the oppressed when my voice lacked communication and clarity? That's when I realized that communication formed indeed a very key part in our lives. And in order to be impactful leaders, we had to be competent communicators. A confused me was introduced to this wonderful community called Toastmasters by a couple of mutual friends. And since that day, I have never looked back. Toastmasters has become a second family to me. And somewhere I do not aspire to stand like Lincoln or speak like Churchill, but somewhere harbor a tiny flame of hope in my heart that someday I, a tiny speck in this vast cosmos, would be successful in contributing to this world in a significant manner and in my quest of redefining womanhood and humanity. What do you think, Sir Toastmaster of the Day? Would I be able to do so? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pratiti. I am absolutely sure that you will be able to do so. And I'm pretty certain that a day will come when in our society, we will be able to have no shackles, no compulsions, no restrictions on anyone for any matter. And we will be able to provide all the independence and freedom and food to everyone who deserves so. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pratiti, for the wonderful speech. Now, I will request that we are going to have a silence of 5 minutes so that evaluators can make their note. Timer, please note, please show a red card after completion of this 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Timer. So now I will request our general evaluator of the day, DTM Chayan, to help us with the evaluation contest. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I will call the evaluators in a sequence which has been decided in advance, and they will come and start the evaluation. Timer, please note that the first verbal or non-verbal gesture would look at the commencement of the time, and you can use your timing to record the same. Calling first in the order which has been decided earlier, I would request and invite the Toastmaster Anurag to the virtual podium. Toastmaster Anurag, the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Chayan. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear Toastmasters, and to my test speaker in particular. What a wonderful start of the speech with such an energy and such a boost of saying, I am a woman, and repeating it for 4 to 5 times and giving an analogy of you being a woman with that of Mother Earth or the nature. This is something that grabbed the attention of the audience at the very beginning. The words that you use, like when you said this rhyming of the words like old and young, nature like patriarchal oppression, or resemble the dark night of how a woman is resembling the nature. All these things grab the attention of the audience from the very beginning. The second thing that I liked about your speech was it was sprinkled with humor throughout. Like when you said if you couldn't be an engineer or a doctor, the only other option that you had is to marry Jeff Bezos. Or when you said how your grandparents, how your grandfather described your grandmother as the bitter half, oops, the better half. These things kept the audience entertained throughout. The third thing that I liked about your speech was that you cited various common examples like Urmila or Sita and sharing their story, something that we come across on our day-to-day lives, something that connected with each and every one of us. However, there are certain few points where I would say that you can improve upon your speech. First, when you started with the phrase, I am a woman, you used it a couple of times in the beginning. Now, when I was hearing the speech, I thought that you could have given a better conclusion by reiterating the same, I am a woman, and concluding of how you, as Toastmaster Prakriti, would like to develop in Toastmasters or something of that sort. This could have created more impact on the audience. The second thing I would like you to do better is the voice modulation and facial expression. Like when you said patriarchal oppression, you could have said it with a bit of bitterness on your face and a heavy voice. The third thing that I would like to recommend is that we saw a crutch gesture on your part. That is, you are always moving your hands behind like this. If this could have been avoided, the attention of the audience wouldn't have been distracted. All in all, Toastmaster Prakriti, I really loved the way you played with the words, the humor that was sprinkled throughout, and the various examples that you cited which connected with all of us. However, if you could have ended with the way you began your speech, a bit more of voice modulation and facial expression, and if you do not use the crutch gesture, I believe this speech could have been done much better. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag, for that wonderful evaluation. I will now call upon the second evaluator onto the podium, which is Toastmaster Asutosh. Toastmaster Asutosh, podium is
Thank
yours.
you so much, General Evaluator DTM Chayan. Vasudev Kutumbakam. That was a message which I was very, very clearly able to hear in your today's speech, Prakriti. So thank you so much for giving such a wonderful message and meaning to us, to everybody's life. Good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So, Prakriti, a few things which absolutely stood out for me in your speech were ethos, pathos, and logos. When I first started my career as a pre-sales consultant this is a training which actually changed my life. And the trainer said, whenever you're making presentation, we need to have three things: ethos, pathos, and logos, which simply means energy, content, and credibility. I can't talk about the energy. You were absolutely amazing. Your the way you speak, the energy which you were showing, it was really visible. Although you're very far, you are probably in Kalyani, I was able to feel that energy here in Howrah itself. So that energy was very, very clearly visible. Credibility, a very important thing. You talked about you being a content manager of one of the organization or society where you are working, where you are helping. That was absolutely fantastic. It was not someone who was just speaking like me for nothing, but it is someone who is speaking, who is actually bringing in change in society. Credibility really played very, very, very well for me. And then coming to the content, again, goes without saying, the way you are a content writer yourself, so the way you were playing with the words, the way you were rhyming the words, that really worked very well. For a common person like me, that really worked fantastic. It was working like jingle for me. A few of the things which you said, like bitter, not better, and they were really, really echoing really well, very, very well for me. So as far as content, energy, and credibility was concerned, this speech was absolutely fantastic. Now, there are a few things which I think can actually be improved in any speech which is given. Very small two things, in my opinion, which can be improved very easily are: one is, I would have preferred seeing your hand gestures and your body a little more. I think the way camera was placed, it was only your face which was visible. If next time, if we can also see your, like, at least half of the body, that's always helpful, because then as an audience, I can see your hand gestures and I can see your facial expressions much better. Secondly, again, for a slow learner like me, if you speak a little slow with some pauses in between, so that you give me a little time to kind of assimilate and digest things, and then kind of come up with my own reactions. That will really help if that is something you can do in your speech, bringing a little more pauses. All in all, a fantastic speech, full of energy. Your credibility was visible. With these small little changes, I'm sure your next speech is going to be very, very much better. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashutosh, for your evaluation. I will now quickly call upon our third evaluator in the form of Toastmaster Kshitij. Toastmaster Kshitij, podium is yours.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Am I audible and visible? Hello? Okay. So, well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see that how Pratiti's body language brought life in her content? You could see her anger or her happiness in their body language. And that was in the language of Generation G, lit. The second thing was that they had a really great key message. That was womanhood and humanity. And the best part was that the message was in line with their content. When you stand with or when you deliver your speech with a simple yet solid message, it is, for me, at least personally me, is very easy to understand and conceive what you're trying to tell. The other thing was her melodious grammar, like bitter half and better half. Second thing was that not discriminated on the basis of age, gender, or class. Seeing the British accent? Well, coming back to my part, she talked about the importance of communication and how the thought of feminism came enthralled in her mind from childhood. Well, this was very good. Now, talking about some improvements, the only thing which can be evolved better, as my fellow evaluators said, the credibility. Like, the people should feel and see what you're trying to tell. And the other thing is your vocal variety that can be improved. Like, When you're trying to tell a sad story, your voice should be slower. It should be lower because it's a sad story, and vice versa. Overall, I was awestruck by your speech. That's all in my evaluation. Thank you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij. I will now invite onto the virtual stage the next evaluator, Toastmaster Panna Rashmire. The podium is yours.
What a lovely speech on the bold topic of feminism. Good evening, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear Toastmaster Pratiti. Toastmaster Pratiti, let me share what I really loved about your speech. Firstly, I love the way you started your speech. Very confidently, I am a woman. And you took your stand. Kudos to you on that awesome start. Secondly, Toastmaster Pratiti, I like the way you introduce yourself based on the framework on something you're passionate about. And that came across in your speech. Whenever we choose a topic, a speech about something we're passionate about, that comes across very well, and you were convincing, and that was beautifully done. Third thing that I liked about your speech, Toastmaster Pratiti, was the pertinent questions you asked. When you asked those questions, it got me thinking, yeah, really, why does that happen? And any speech that makes me think, I value that speech more. And I really love that speech because of all these three factors. Now, Toastmaster Pratiti, how do we take this speech to the next level? First, in the beginning, you spoke about your grandmother and your mother, right in the beginning, about them being inspiring. I was really looking forward to you sharing some anecdotes based around your mother and your grandmother, which I felt was missing. When we introduce some characters, it is nice if you can elaborate on them or talk a little bit on, give some anecdotes about them. Secondly, I felt those pertinent questions that you asked needed some pauses. You were galloping one question after another. If you would have stopped, we would have thought about that question you asked, and then the next question would have come, hit us, and we would have thought about that. And that would have had more impact. So if you could have given some pauses, it would have been really very wonderful. The third thing, Toastmaster Pratiti, the third point is, you had your major speech around feminism, but somewhere along the way, you brought in oppression. Somewhere you brought in LGBT. I felt your speech got a bit confused in that time, in bringing on so many issues. Keep it clean. If you're taking feminism, let's try to keep it true that feminism. Bring in your mother, how she was a feminist. Bring in your grandmother, how you learned something. There was something that taught you feminism, that it got ingrained in you, the fact about feminism. So that would have made it more pointed, focused speech. Overall, Toastmaster Pratiti, a passionate speech with a strong opening, very pertinent questions. Next time, please keep in mind that to elaborate on the characters you have introduced, keep some pauses after questions asked, and keep your speech specific to the focus to the point you have introduced. And this speech will bring you accolades everywhere. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Panna, for that amazing evaluation. I would next call upon Toastmaster Rupesh onto the e-podium. Toastmaster Rupesh, the e-podium.
A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and would-be Toastmasters, if any, in this project platform. Ladies and gentlemen, if you really noticed, today is in Panna's speech, Pratiti's speech, the major part was her opening. How she started with I. When she repeated several times, I, that really attracted the focus of all the audience, really what I want to convey. She given the one minute on this, and she attracted the attention of all the audience. After that, she went to the real feminism story. She started giving the background of her family, how she comes from the background of music and medical profession. And after that, what's the relation of her grandmother and how they are really with her to prevent her thought process. She started explaining what is the freedom means. If you want to be an activist, really, the word freedom will come. But what is the meaning of freedom? That she clearly explained. Overall, I'll say the structure of whole speech was very clear, and she was very clear in her thought process what she wanted to explain. But slowly, when she went, she was rushing out. Just for an improvement point, I'll say, because I believe whenever you're giving any speech, your thought process is to convey your message, which you want your listeners to understand. But definitely, several other speakers also told pauses. And when you're throwing questions, give them chance to understand, they digest, and they will be able to understand what you want to convey. Again, proper pauses, did go slow. Otherwise, I'll say the structure of speech was particularly very much fine, and you are very clear about what you want to. At last, you explain what you want to become. You explain your desire based on your experience. You in your speech, you also explain how Sita commits suicide and why and what should be done, how the equality will come. These are the things which really helps you to structure your speech and convey your message to all the audience. Overall, I'll say speech was perfectly fine, well structured. Only few of the points, if you'll consider, it will help you to become a good speaker in the public platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh, for your evaluation. I will next call upon the next evaluator in the form of Toastmaster Seema. Toastmaster Seema, the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and a very good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters, and especially this young woman of substance, Toastmaster Pratiti. What really caught my attention right from the beginning was your stance in this community. I'm sure it's just a few years that you have been in this world, but you have already proven your stance where you are a feminist. I could feel the frustration, the angst, the empathy, the sympathy that you felt for women who have been suppressed. I also appreciate the way you used your vocabulary, your language, to bring about, to express your feelings. For instance, patriarchal suppression, infinite faith, glaring disparities, bleeding mentally and physically, the iron ladies in your life who have made an impact on you. All these uses of grammar or English made sure that I understood your feeling towards feminism. I also appreciate the lovely sense of humor you had in between, like how most of the Toastmasters know about your infinite crushes that you have every week. We know about your passion for marrying Jeff Bezos. All this added to, you brought about that contrast between the seriousness of the topic that you were telling about yourself, along with that humor, brought about the seriousness very, very well. However, Toastmaster Pratiti, your expression, your feeling, you wanted to bring it out. I think there are a few ways in which you could have done it a little more better. First and foremost, I wish you had made a good effort to present yourself properly while speaking. In the sense, if you were standing, you could have made sure that your laptop or your camera, whatever it is, was placed in such a way that you had eye contact. I failed to see all that expression on your beautiful face, your lovely eyes. You had so much of emotion, but I could barely see it. Secondly, I wish you could have paused in between so that the impact of what you were feeling, I could have felt it better. It could have been ingrained in me. And in fact, you were galloping through a large part of your speech. So I was unable to see, to understand exactly what you were trying to emphasize on. And lastly, if you, for someone who is as young as you, you could have given me a strong message on what would you like to do, the solutions you can offer for all the frustration that you're feeling towards the suppression of women. I was looking forward to that. In any case, you as an individual, as a young girl going through this, you could have, I felt your frustration. I could feel the emotion that you were going through. It would have been better if you could have just organized your speech a little more in a way that I could understand from which depth onwards that you were moving to. So that would have made me probably take a stance like you, that feminism is indeed something that I need to live with. Thank you so much, General Evaluator, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seema. I will now call upon our last evaluator for today, which is in the form of Toastmaster Shilpa. Toastmaster Shilpa, the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator, sir. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, especially Toastmaster Pratiti. Your speech was really great. The content was something that everyone can easily relate to. You started well by I am the woman, and then you showed not just because of short hair and then other women features. That was good. Your initial voice pitch was also great. At the end, you also gave a call of action, which is always preferable in Toastmasters. So, what you can work upon to improve? There were three things that I think you should focus on. One is pause, camera, and then voice modulation. So, pause. I wish you use more of pauses, like when you ask a question, you know where is the problem? You should wait for a few seconds so that people can think upon. Second, you could place your camera at such a position so that we can see your hand gestures. You can use the whole stage just by placing the camera at the right place. Third, your voice modulation and pitch. It was constant throughout the speech. I wish if you could just add some more sadness, or you can show it by expression when you talked about your neighbor's death, or when you said, my mother soon got tired of all my questions. Like you could show some expressions over there at least. Overall, your speech was great, and only you could work on this voice modulation expression, season it with little drama, and your speech will be on another level. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shilpa. When we've gone through a list of amazing 7 evaluators who evaluated the speech, in as a role of a general evaluator, it becomes very difficult to evaluate the evaluator per se. So what I'm going to do is that I am probably going to talk about two things. One, I will take you through the judges' ballot for the evaluation contest, which tells you clearly how the marks are distributed so that you get a sense of it. Some of you have been judges, so you are aware of it. But for those who've not been, I would just take you through that so you get a sense of how the judges are going to be looking at this. And secondly, I will, or rather that I will probably do first, is cover a couple of points which I had for Toastmaster Pratiti, which some of them did get covered, some of them did not get covered. So I'll just mention them out. I think by and large, all the great evaluators have covered a large part of it. So as I go through this, maybe you can understand the small things that you may probably pick up in your evaluation next time. But overall, I would definitely want everybody to applaud this great effort to just come in with all 7 evaluators doing that, which definitely requires a round of applause. I do applaud. Okay, for Toastmaster Pratiti, I think in terms of the commendations, it's been well summarized with all the other, all the esteemed evaluators putting in their commendations, which were apt. In terms of recommendations, I felt that there were 3 things which were missing in all the evaluations. One was talking about the technical aspects of a virtual speech. For example, Toastmaster Pratiti, you had a background glow behind you from a bulb, and that was creating a nice halo about you. While, of course, it would have been a great halo to talk about your feminist ideals, but in this scenario, it was very distracting for the audience to see that halo just being on top of your head. So maybe understanding and recognizing the position of the light when you are standing can be an area which you would want to put in your speech. Secondly, I felt you had a natural, unnecessary sing-song movement where you were moving from here to here. And this kept happening all throughout your speech. So that at times becomes a habit, but that becomes distracting, whether you are in a virtual meeting or in a physical meeting, because that movement is very visible to the audience, that you're shifting your weight from one leg to the other. So that's something that you may want to avoid. One of the evaluators did mention about the fact about the camera angle, and it was that you were looking down on the audience. So having the camera at eye contact level or eye level at least will ensure that your audience can see you properly and they could feel that there is an eye contact with the speaker. We did speak about hand gestures, and because your camera positioning was such, your hands were coming in and going out. Now, when you're coming in and going out once, that's fine. But if you keep doing it too often, then that becomes a distraction. I think that's one area that you may want to focus on in terms of creating impact. And I completely agree with what some of the evaluators said, that the importance of pause when you're giving a serious subject is very important, because pause allows those words to reach a person's subconscious and it hits the emotion. And as a speaker, you are trying to play with the emotions of your audience. You are trying your best to touch the emotions, because that's where the success of what you're trying to convey is going to lie. How effectively you've been able to touch your audience emotionally. Overall, I think this was a great speech, and I do agree with most of the evaluators that you were very strong about your ideas, and that came out very strongly. So all the best, and I hope that you come forward for amazing speeches over here. Now, for those evaluators who have not seen judges form, I will request the host first to probably give me sharing access so that I can share my screen.
Just a
Okay.
second.
Yes.
Yeah, so co-host access given.
Wonderful. One. Do please let me know when you can see my screen.
We can see your screen.
Wonderful. Okay. So if you look at the judging ballot over here, the first point over here which they are looking is analytical quality. How much have you gone and analyzed the speech? How much have you captured the commendations? How have you gone down to the depth of looking at how they need to be elaborated on, how successful the speaker was in terms of bringing down those positive points, so that positive commendations shows that how much you have listened to the speaker. The second is recommendations. Please understand, the recommendations have to be the three most important recommendations. There can be 7 or 8, but you should constrain yourself to the top 3 recommendations only, which are going to be the most impactful, because that's what are going to really make that big difference. Now, I can always come back and say, oh, Toastmaster Pratiti, you had this fly behind your face, which was really bothering me, or the color behind your, at the background was pink, and that was very distracting. That is not a recommendation which is really important. But the recommendation in terms of talking about that you did not have the entire message structured properly. The structuring could have been much better so that the effectiveness of your message is conveyed. Shows that, there has been the recommendations have been thought through, and these are ones which are really important. So try to limit yourself to 3, at the max 4, not more than 4, because then you will just be eating into time and probably trying to create recommendations which may not be very relevant. The third is technique. Now, this comes up with how you start your speech. You can start your speech in a traditional way, which says, Mr. or Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guest, and the speaker, the name in particular. And then you start over it, right? You can also have a different way where you kind of start with a quote. You kind of give a quote which aligns with the speech, and then you address the audience saying, Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guest, and Toastmaster Pratiti in particular. Right? So this is the way how you're building up the connect with the audience. Again, the technique would be sympathetic. You have to be sympathetic and you have to be sensitive. And most importantly, you have to be motivational. The whole idea of evaluation is to motivate the speaker to come again. So were you sympathetic? Were you motivating the speaker and saying that, while there were small gaps here and there, but I loved the way you came across and spoke your heart out about your love for feminism. Right? So the technique would carry about 15 marks that you have to be looking at. And please remember, and some of the evaluators have missed that, there are 15 marks for submission. You have to summarize your evaluation, the commendation, the recommendation, and the conclusion. The conclusion carries 15 marks. If you are not concluding appropriately, you're going to lose these 15 marks. So ideally, in terms of timing, if you're looking at the amber card coming in, amber card signifies that you need to start with your summarization. Because if you're going into the red card and you start summarization from red card, there is a very, very high chance that you're going to time yourself out to the content. So look at the ballot. I think the ballot provides you the guidance over there. This is available in the Toastmasters website. So if you go to contest, speech contest, you can get the ballot over there. Get yourself familiar with this, because as you go into contest season, this is definitely the same document that the judges are going to be looking at as they evaluate you for the contest. With that, I would like to thank again all the wonderful evaluators who stood up and volunteered for this evaluation. This was a great experience. And now I revert back to my role of the general evaluator in evaluating the meeting, and I pass over controls to our Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Ashutosh, over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator DTM Chayan, for your wonderful guidance. We sincerely appreciate it. And I'm sure this is going to help us in being better speakers and better evaluator. With that, we move on to the second section of our meeting today. But before we start the second section, I want to talk about the second bullet which was fired by Shahid Udham Singh. When he was firing the second bullet, he imagined that after we get independence, everyone in the nation will have the economic freedom. Everyone will have the basic required job. And youngsters will not roam around because they don't have the job. In order to make that a reality, as Indian, we need to do something really very, very, very minuscule. Let's make sure that we are buying products which are only made in our country. Let's make sure that we feel proud when we wear a product made in India, made proudly in India. With that, let's go on to our second section. And to take us through this section, we have someone whom I personally look upon. I can only wish if I can speak as elegantly and impactfully. I mean, there are a lot of adjectives I can put in here, but to save time, I'll not put it. So if I can speak, I can only wish, if I can speak as good as she do. When I asked her 3 things which she will like to do to change our nation or to bring change in our nation, she immediately replied, education, cleanliness, and stop corruption. With a big round of applause, let us all welcome our table topic master for the evening, Toastmaster Panna Rashmi Ray.
Let's keep the applause going for the fantastic Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As mentioned, I'm your table topic master for today. Toastmasters International has designed this table topic session so that everyone in the meeting gets an opportunity to speak. These sessions help to improve one's listening skills as well as one's skills in impromptu speaking. In table topic sessions, each speaker has a time limit of 1 to 2 minutes. Anyone speaking less than 1 minute will get disqualified. Everyone will get 30 seconds grace to wind up the speech once the 2 minutes are up. Speakers speaking for more than 2 minutes, 30 seconds will again get disqualified. There are no guests today, so I will jump that part about guests having the chance to change their topic. But I will encourage all the Toastmasters here to use the word of the day, and that is gallop. Use that word during your speech, please, and don't gallop through their speech without using the word of the day. Friends, today let's have some fun during the table topic session with some different type of topics. Let's see, who are the volunteers? Can I have volunteers in the chat box? Yes, Pratiti, I know you'll be the first volunteer, but let us have, you have already spoken. So let us encourage some more speakers. Dr. Rupesh, the first speaker for today is Dr. Rupesh. Dr. Rupesh, your topic is, what are the biggest problems about girlfriends? What are the biggest problems about girlfriends?
Very good evening, fellow Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. girlfriend. Very complicated topic, I believe. Because when I was child, I used to say, she is my girlfriend, and I have 4 girlfriends. And my mother used to laugh. I used to say, Dad, I have 5 girlfriends now. My father used to say, no problem, beta, thode bade ho jao. So this is how the child, then I realized after I believe when I was in 10th, then first time I realized what really girlfriend mean. When I'm saying girlfriend, it doesn't mean if you have a girl who is your friend, she's a girlfriend. No, it's not like that. This is not what the common understanding across the world. Girlfriend means you want to spend some quality time. You should feel relaxed, calm after discussing with her, even you have a lot of problems. But suddenly, when I passed my 12, I realized, no, this is not the reality. Sometime after expending more quality time with your girlfriend, you might come with n number of problems, which you will try to resolve at night, because again, tomorrow morning, you will go and meet her. So I believe, but again, life is one. So it's like a friend that I can recall the Hindi phrase, एक ऐसा दोस्त चाहिए मुझे जो मुझे जान सके, मुझे अच्छी तरह से पहचान सके, चल रहे हो तेज बारिश में फिर भी आंख से गिरे उस आंसू की बूंद को पहचान सके. That means you know one friend who can understand you very well. Even you are walking with her in the rain and you are crying, she should be able to see the tears in between the water. So this is what girlfriend mean, I believe. If you get those girlfriend, doesn't matter, she will become your wife one day or not, but definitely she should be your friend whenever you need her shoulder or cry. She will provide that and will feel relaxed and calm. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rupesh. A big round of applause for Dr. Rupesh for the topic. And I was really looking forward to hearing some names, Dr. Rupesh, hearing about your girlfriends and the problems you had with them. I have the second volunteer, and that is Toastmaster Shraddha. Toastmaster Shraddha, your topic is, if the early bird catches all the worms, how are the other birds still alive? If the early bird catches all the worms, how are the other birds still alive?
Hi, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, Table Topic Master, for the topic. The topic here is, if an early bird catches all the worms, how are the rest of the birds still alive? So this has a difficult meaning, complicated meaning to understand. In fact, I am finding it difficult to process. But still, what I can gauge from that is there's nothing called all the worms in the world. If all the worms are caught, there will be other insects living, other kind of animals living. If the birds are not able to survive on the worms, they'll definitely find a way to venture, explore more food, and they might, start eating other insects, maybe animals, in fact, some other day. So there's nothing like in this world that everything is going to get over for you. Even if I'm a bird, if I'm a bird and I'm trying to eat all the worms, the next bird is going to find ways to survive in this world. Maybe explore more better options than the worms around, and then survive and have a better life as a bird. So I would urge all my fellow Toastmasters here, if all the worms are over for you today, do not be demotivated. You'll find something else to survive, maybe a better food for you, better food than worms, and then you'll have a happy and then filled stomach. So thank you. Over to you, Table Topic Master. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Toastmaster Shraddha, you are a new Toastmaster, but I love the way you handled a difficult topic and gave a message at the end. Kudos to you. Very well done. The next volunteer I have is Toastmaster Babu Gupta. Toastmaster Babu Gupta, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your topic is, If necessity is the mother of invention, who is the father? If necessity is the mother of invention, who is the father?
Invention cannot be done without technology. So necessity can be the mother of invention, but the father has to be the technology, because you cannot invent anything if you don't know the technique and the proper way of inventing or making something or manufacturing something. So if there is a need, like it's winter season now, there is a need of wearing a sweater. Yes, we can think that we need woolen garments over us to keep ourselves warm, but if we don't know the technique of sewing the wools from the ship and making it into a sweater, we can never fulfill our needs. So if necessity is the mother of invention, the father has to be the technology itself. Because I, being a businessman and a manufacturer, I realize that I can manufacture or deal on that certain item, but if I do not know the proper technique of making the item properly, then that item will not be qualified, or that item will get rejected. Hence, if this technology is not there with me, I will be a son with mother but without father. Hence, for growing up properly, we need a mother and a father as well. So necessity is our mother and technology is the father. And back to table topic master.
Wow. Awesome take on the topic, Toastmaster Babu. That is really, really well spoken. Fantastic. I don't have any other volunteers in the chat box, but I did have Pratiti volunteering right in the beginning. Pratiti, would you like to try? Ashutosh, I'll come to you after that. Anurag, please let me know when to stop. Pratiti, would you like to try?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Pratiti, Toastmaster Pratiti, your topic is, would you rather have no teeth or no hair? Would you rather have no teeth or no hair?
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master, for that wonderful topic. When given the choice between teeth and hair, I would not mind having none of them, because I believe that external beauty has no relevance in today's life. In the life of a person, it is the internal beauty, it is the personality of a person that matters. But I would be a bit hesitant to say that I wouldn't mind that I have none, because I need the hair because it helps me to think. It helps me to think. I love the feeling of my hair when I touch it, the soft, lush hair when I sleep on my pillow. So I would miss that, but I would take a stand and say that external beauty is not something that should matter in anyone's life. It is the personality, it is the persona, it is the character of a person that should hold any relevance or significance in anyone's life. So, and as when it comes to teeth, well, teeth are needed in everyone's life, because teeth is needed to munch and chew food, and I think that is a very vital organ of your life because of that survival reasons, not because of appearance reasons. So yes, I would like to end my stand saying that I would not mind having any teeth or any hair, but teeth are necessary for survival. So I would like to go for teeth. You can live without a bald head. You can live with a bald head, but you can't live without food. That's the thing. Thank you. Come back to you, Madam Topic Master.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can't live without food. Lovely, lovely. Very well spoken, Toastmaster Pratiti. The last topic for today is for Toastmaster Ashutosh. Toastmaster Ashutosh, your topic is, what type of car best describes you? What type of car best describes you?
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Panna. I was really, it always happens that other topics are always better. And after hearing that, I raise my hand. And now here I am talking about cars, which I am absolutely not passionate about. And in my opinion, I'm very happy with, if I just use some words in Hindi, I'm happy with 11 number gadi, which is, my two legs. So that's something which describes me the best, in my opinion. Given me a choice, I will not own a car, because I think at the end of the day, it is just a mean and mechanism to transport me from one place to another. So as long as I have something which can transport me from one place to another with the required safety, within the required span of time, I am absolutely happy with anything. But if at all I need to be related with something, I will certainly relate myself with a 11 number gadi, with a 11 number gadi, which are my two legs. And I am passionate about walking. I'm passionate about running and spending time walking and seeing things outside. That's something which really makes me feel good whenever I go out and walk on my 11 number gadi. And that's, like I said, that's something which I relate myself most with, and I will love to live with that, even if you offer me, I don't know, whatever, Porsche or BMW, or I really don't know all the names, so I'm so sorry for that. So 11 number is something which works best for me. Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashutosh. I'm so sorry that the topic and the Toastmaster did not click. Next time, I'll make sure I'll give you a better topic.
No, ma'am, it certainly clicked. I mean, I'm very happy with my 11 number gadi.
Yes, you spoke. You had a very good take on it, even though you had a topic which you would have liked something else maybe. And with that, I would like to hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day. I hope you all enjoyed, but I wish more Toastmasters, more new Toastmasters would have participated. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Panna Rashmi Ray. It was absolutely fantastic. And given me a choice, if I would have, the topic which really I liked was the topic on mother. I mean, if mother is necessity of all the invention, then who the father is. I'll tell you a small incident which happened with me. These days, kids do have class at home, and to my younger daughter, madam was teaching her small letters and capital letters, and she was saying, this is mama letter and this is small letter. So I asked her one day that, why don't you ask your ma'am that what is papa letter then, if this is mama letter. So with that, we will go on to the third section of our meeting today, and the most awaited section of any Toastmasters meeting. But before that, let me ask you, do you want to know about this third bullet? 1, 2, 3. So actually, Shahid Udham Singh only fired 2 bullets, and he did his work for the nation. Now it is us who need to fire this third bullet. Let's make sure anything which you think, I think, we think is the biggest hurdle for the development of our nation. It can be corruption, it can be cleanliness, it can be hygiene, it can be education. Let's make a small contribution that we are not contributing to that problem which we think is the biggest problem. If it's corruption, let's not be part of corruption. If it's cleanliness, let's not throw litter and garbage anywhere and everywhere. It is us who will have to fire this third bullet, my friends. With that, I would like to invite DTM Chayan to take us through the evaluation section and make us a little more wiser. DTM Chayan, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Can we have a round of applause for our amazing Toastmaster of the day? That session was just amazing. And as we come to the evaluation section, we are going to be looking at the meeting in its entirety. And before I do that for the table topic section and the other role players, I will call upon my 3 pillars of support to come forth one by one and deliver their reports on how the meeting has been. So first, may I request the timer, Toastmaster Ainangshu, to please come up and deliver the report. Timer.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Chayan. Well, today, most of the speakers and all the evaluators and everyone in the table topics also, so they were all good. And if I talk about the timings, Pratiti was the test speaker. She took 6 minutes 25 seconds, which is well within her time limits. For the evaluation part, most of them were in the time limit. However, 2 persons galloped through the evaluation part and missed out completing their minimum time frame. It was Kshitij and Shilpa, who didn't complete the minimum time frame of 2 minutes for the evaluation part. And in the table topics, well, everybody used the times well. Only Rupesh was in the red zone. However, he was well within the 30-second grace period. That is all from my side. Thank you, and over to General Evaluator Chen.
Thank you, Toastmaster. And Anshu, one recommendation for you would be that when you're delivering the time, you can talk about the exact time which has been taken. You can either read it out or you can flash a report which kind of has captured those timings, so that individually the speakers who have come onto the podium will know the exact time that they have taken. Thank you so much. I understand this is the first time you're doing this role, so this was very well done. I now move on to my second pillar of support, which is in the form of the R counter, and that for today was played by Toastmaster Manisha. Toastmaster Manisha, can you please deliver your report?
Thank you, General Evaluator. So all the speeches were wonderful. The speakers were very good. I'll gallop to the results now. Our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Anurag, was flawless. President Toastmaster Seema Ramesh had 2 hours. Our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashutosh, had 2 hours and multiple Our timer of the day had multiple hours. Our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Shraddha, had multiple hours. Our test speaker, Toastmaster Pratiti, had 2 and 2 For the evaluations, Toastmaster Anurag had 1 hour and multiple likes. Toastmaster Ashutosh had 1 hour and 1 Toastmaster Kshitij had 2 likes. Toastmaster Panna had 2 hours and 1 Toastmaster Rupesh was flawless. Toastmaster Seema, 2 hours. Toastmaster Shilpa was flawless. I hope I did not miss anyone.
Right. Well, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
So coming to the table topic session. So Toastmaster, table topic master, Toastmaster Panna was flawless. Toastmaster Shraddha, Toastmaster Rupesh had 2 Toastmaster Shraddha had multiple hours and 2 Toastmaster Babu Gupta had multiple hours and multiple like. Toastmaster Pratiti had 2 hours. Toastmaster Ashutosh had 1 hour and 3 That's it from my end. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manisha, for that comprehensive evaluation. And before I gallop on to give my feedback on the table topics, I will call upon the e-podium, the grammarian for this meeting, Toastmaster Shraddha, to deliver a report. Master Shraddha, podium is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. There were more of good usage rather than the not so good usage. I'll start with the good usage. There were many words like inquisitiveness, quest, analogy, ethos, pathos, logos, echoing, zeal, awestruck, and in fact many more things of movement, pertinent, accolades. These were the good usage, and not so good usage would be reiterating, which should be reiterating. Began with was called as begun, the way you begun instead of you began. An activist was said, activist. She wants to explain was said as she want to explain. Sometimes was called as sometime at one sentence. For cry, which was supposed to be used as for cry. For the word warm, it was used as warm at one time. And also for everybody's information, the word of the day, gallop, was used 10 times. So that's my report. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shraddha. Well, moving now quickly to the table topics, we had a galaxy of eminent speakers who came in over there. The first one was Toastmaster Rupesh. What are the biggest problems about girlfriends? Now, the biggest problem about poets like Toastmaster Rupesh is that when they find a difficult topic, they cloak it around poetry and get away with it. So he just ensured that he could come and regale us with his poetry and just skip over the more important bits about his experience with girlfriends. I will never forget this line which said, "The calm, relaxed, spending time with girlfriend. I can challenge you. There is not one single boyfriend who will say that this ever happens." But you apparently came out very nicely, very confidently with this and went away. So it was very well done. There was great storytelling, and true to your style, you ended up with the poetry, which was always such an amazing experience. So kudos to you. That was really very well managed. The second was Toastmaster Shraddha. If the early bird catches all the worms, then how are the other birds still alive? Now, I felt that when you heard the topic, you were suddenly stuck. That okay, what do I say next? Right. So there was this momentary freeze, and you tried to overcompensate it by repeating the topic. Right. Well, if the early bird has caught the worm, then the second bird has got experience. So they move forward and understand the food is finished over here and they go forward. Right. But then you recovered very nicely. And then you kind of built on it and spoke about the fact that there can be different forms of food that they can go into. Only feedback is that even if you feel, and see, the table topic is all about impromptu speaking and challenging you. If you're faced with an uncomfortable topic, do not repeat it. Right. Sometimes you can put a word, take a pause, and that pause will look very natural when you put it across. And then say, I'll give you an example. So you say, if the early bird catches the worm, how are the other birds still alive? I also wonder how these birds are alive. Let me think. I've taken a pause. This is a very deliberate pause, right? But I've taken those 3 seconds to think what I'm going to say next. And the audience will think that I am actually taking them on. So I'll encourage you to try this technique. This is a very nice one to do when you have suddenly got a topic that you're not sure what to speak about, right? So I think that was very well done. Kudos to you. The next was Toastmaster Babu Gupta. If necessity is the mother of invention, who's the father? Well, I always thought that the father of invention was frustration. Because when frustration comes through and you do not realize what to do, then you go to necessity, right? And as it always said, that when you do not know an answer, you first think for yourself, move around, and then ask your wife. She'll tell you what to do, and then here you have the invention coming through. But then, being the technocrat that you were, you came out with technology, which was so apt, and you spoke about how technology can sort every problems on the earth, except figuring out how to put the toothpaste in when it's come out of the tube. But other than that, I think this was a great take on the topic. Kudos to you. I would encourage you to come again and again for table topics because you are a great speaker, and definitely this is a medium which challenges you and makes you an even better speaker. The next was our test speaker for today, Toastmaster Pratiti. How would you rather have no teeth or no hair? I think you had a wonderful take on the topic. You spoke about how, in very good beauty contest style, you said external beauty does not matter. It's all inner beauty. And, we were all taken back to those days of Aishwarya Rai when she used to have these beautiful answers, very good. But then after that, the foodie in you came alive and you said, well, I can stay bald, but, you need to eat and you need to have the teeth. So I think that was a very humorous take, but it came a little late. The only recommendations that I'll put for you is that this is a great option for you to try the art of storytelling. Bring out a particular incident and link the topic to this, saying that, you were told about how can you donate your hair for a cause in return for a biryani, and you really debated, and you then thought that the problem biryani is more important than the hair. The hair can always come back. Just giving an idea. Please don't try that. But that's something that you may try because storytelling is one of the most effective ways of facing table topics. If you're able to link the table topic to a event or incident that comes in, you have won the audience. But I think it was a great take on the topic. Very well done. Now, our last speaker was Toastmaster Asutosh. And Toastmaster Asutosh's topic is something which is lost in my papers, but I'm still going to figure that out. Which card describes you the best? And I remember the 11 number ki gadi. I think that was very well done. I would probably also have taken a different stance as which card describes me best. Well, if you look at my size, actually a car would not really do me justice. It would probably be a truck. Right? So you can take a different stance altogether. Or you can talk about maybe aircraft actually describes you. I'm so fast in the way I go about it. keep pace with me. So I think it was a good take on the topic. You spoke about, you really don't like cars, and you feel that the 11 number ki gadi is your own 2 feet are the best ways of going about it. So I think you handled the topic very well. Again, the same feedback for you. See if you can build on with this to storytelling, because that's something, and this topic actually gave you a lot of those options, right? We could bring in a story of your life saying that, well, I had a car and I was driving and the car broke down, and ultimately I realized the old dependable was still there. My car, which is always there with me, right? So that kind of puts your point across more strongly. But overall, I think all the table topic speakers were amazing. They had some very difficult topics that table topic master really tested them, and they all come up on top. So kudos to all of you. Can we have a round of applause for all the table topic speakers? Okay, now I'll go about evaluating the meeting, starting off with the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Anurag. I think you started the meeting with all energy and gusto. You went about introducing the president. You read out the disclaimer notice from Toastmasters International, which was very well done. You spoke about the 3 taboo topics that we do not speak about. So I think that was extremely well done. And typically in the way of the Sergeant at Arms, you ensured that the meeting was not very late. I think you were a couple of minutes late, but that's understandable in the virtual podium because we have people who have some connectivity issues. The next was Toastmaster Seema and the president. Well, Toastmaster Seema is a very experienced president. I think she's been playing this role to Elan in so many different clubs. I think she's just become a pro in this. So she came about and she, greeted the members. She spoke to guests and had this very nice story to build up and then start off with the meeting. I really don't have any feedback for Toastmaster Seema. I think she was just, mechanically going through the process and she did it with great elan. So kudos to you. The next was the star of the evening, the Toastmaster of the day. Well, Toastmaster Ashutosh, let me tell you, this was one of the best Toastmaster sessions where TMOD that I've seen in a very long time. And it was such an apt topic that you put in. Everybody was talking about Christmas, and you brought in Shahid Udham Singh and narrated the stories of your life. And I love the way that you kept that mystery around the third bullet right till the end. I think everybody was thinking that what is that third bullet? What is that third bullet? Even I was thinking that was it the revolution? Was it the War of Independence? What was that? And then you revealed it right at the end. So very well done. I think you really brought out the art of storytelling amazingly well. You brought in the emotions. You can almost visualize the event as you were narrating it. And I think that is a hallmark of a good storyteller. So I think the session was very well done in terms of the way you introduced all the speakers who came in. Just one feedback is that you forgot to introduce the test speaker and mention the title of the speech, because that was important for the evaluators. I think a lot of them were really thrown off because they did not know what the title of the speech was. So maybe that's something that you have to be a little mindful about. But otherwise, this was a flawless performance. So kudos to you. Can we have a round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day? Okay, after that, we had our amazing table topic master. And well, let me tell you that if I have to practice for my table topics contest, you are the one I'm going to come to for table topics. I think those were really testing ones. Even I had to scratch my head over a couple of them to realize how would I have handled it. But kudos to you for coming up with such innovative topics, because giving topics that are uncomfortable is the only way you come out of that comfort zone and become a great table topic speaker. So I think kudos to all the preparation that you did for this. This was definitely an amazing session, and I definitely had a lot of fun being an evaluator in this. I actually hope that I had an opportunity to come down and practice as a table topic speaker, but I'm definitely going to practice because I've noted these table topic points to practice on later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have had an amazing evening being at this club. This was my maiden visit to the club as a participant. And I am just actually kicking myself that why did I not make this trip earlier? But anyway, I will definitely ensure that I am more regular in the club meetings over here. And with that, I will now hand it over back to the man who's been holding the ship all the meeting today. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashutosh, over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator DTM Chayan. As the saying goes, Der Aaye Durust Aaye. Please keep coming to our club more often, and we will absolutely love to hear from you. It was amazing hearing your general evaluations and the feedback which you have provided. And I'm sure all of us are going to provide that in our upcoming speeches, and we'll become better and better speakers in our life. With that, friends, the voting link is there in the chat. I will request all of you to please vote for the best performers. And before we conclude this session, I just want to tell you one very quick thing. The remains of Shahid-e-Azam Udham Singh is preserved in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar, Punjab. But the sacrifice which he made is only going to be meaningful if each one of us run for our nation. Let's make sure that we will not waste even single grain of food on our plate. Let's plan well. Let's try and use made in India product by Indians. And let's not be part of something which we think is the biggest deterrent in development of our nation. And I'm sure with this, together we can and we will make the difference. With that, I would like to call upon President Madam Toastmaster Seema Ramesh to bring this meeting to a conclusion. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience and bearing me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashutosh. You always make it a point to, as Toastmasters, you are, I think, one of the best communicators. It's a natural to you. And this is one of the most important things that we have to build in ourselves. And I don't know, most of the time I get speechless after one of your sessions or your speeches, because you always bring out the value of being an Indian. I think that is also another amazing thing, because throughout our days, very busy days or important lives, we forget that, we are all Indians and we need to do something to bring out the best in us as Indians. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashutosh, for making this a Master Blaster meeting, one of the last meetings of this year. And I would also love to thank DTM Chain for taking this opportunity and finally attending our meeting, because to me, DTM Chain is one of the best communicators as well as leaders in the Toastmasters fraternity. For those of you who know him really well, he is one amazing person, a great sense of humor, but very diligent and very, very well thought of. He speaks superb. I think you all should agree with that. And finally, it was, with great pride that he became a DTM, because I felt that it was long due for him, because he's one of the best around. Thank you so much, DTM Chan, for gracing our meeting and for giving us a real thoughtful session with your evaluation. Well, the voting links are on, okay, and I think everybody has voted. We are a small meeting today, but then it has been a very, very learning experience, especially with the evaluation contest coming up on January 3rd. And our next meeting is going to be in the next year, 2021, on January 2nd. Looking forward to all of you being there and more members, and with a new EC Executive Committee also coming in. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful year ahead. Let's put aside the virus and the second virus and the third virus. Life will be full of a lot of negative things, but I'm sure we can look at all the positive and move ahead. Furthermore, we have another great thing coming up. We have our first VMC newsletter, Virtual Master newsletter, which the digital version, of course, which will be coming out shortly. It is to be launched today. Where is our VP Ed? Okay, VP Ed is not here, but then I think Anurag Jain can give a few words about it. Anurag? He's undergoing a training session.
So sorry, ma'am. Can you please repeat?
No.
Actually, I was busy with the voting link. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's about the newsletter which is coming up. I think you have been also involved. So if you could just give a few words about it. And then I think Toastmaster Shilpa, she is the one who has really been the master, what can I say? The person who has been doing a lot of PR work for this over here. So Shilpa, you too can put in a few words on that. First Anurag and then Shilpa.
Thank you, Seema ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. This is all on behalf of Toastmaster Krish. And this is something that Toastmaster Seema wanted it from the very beginning. And although it is happening at the end of this EC, but this is something that we all would continue henceforth. I would request all the members to kindly go through the newsletter, and I would also request Toastmaster Shilpa to please share this newsletter on the screen so that everyone can have a look at it. Guys, this is something that we have all compiled, and we as a club will grow if we put in this effort. This is something that was kind of a dream for us for past 5 months, and this is what we have materialized now. So, Toastmaster Shilpa, can you please brief us about it?
Okay, can I stop my share screen?
Yeah, sure.
First of all, I would like to thank everyone whoever helped me in making of this newsletter, especially DTM Rohan Nag, who actually went and approached all the members, be it Jennifer ma'am, be it Rudra sir, Oyon Pal, Satyadeep sir, everyone. And he made sure that everyone sends an article for the newsletter, and then he himself edited each and every article. So he's not here, but I really want everyone to know about it, that he is the one who edited all the articles. And then Toastmaster Pratiti and Mridula, who helped me in the designing process. It was actually supposed to be launched every month, but then we decided to launch it as a full term of one EC. So this is a 6 months long newsletter. Please do go through the newsletter. It contains all the meetings that we have done till today. Thank you. I hope you all will like it.
Thank you so much, Shilpa, for all the effort. Here, Pratiti is also over here, and Mridula, all of them have done I mean, that is the thing, it is teamwork. So I'm sure all of us will appreciate the work that has been done, and it is good to have this as a memoir of each term. Well, we don't have to wait too long now for the results of today's meeting. Since we did not have any prepared speeches, we had evaluations, superb evaluations. So the best evaluator goes to, any guesses?
Ashutosh.
Okay, well, it is going out to our fantastic, fantabulous lady over here who was a table topic master as well, Toastmaster Panna Rashmi Ray. Congratulations, Panna. What a wonderful evaluation. You always, excel in evaluation, something to really look up to. Thank you so much. In the role of the timer, our counter, and the grammarian, any guesses who has got the virtual ribbon today? Okay, it is the lady who came up with the galloping word of the day, the grammarian, Toastmaster Shraddha. Congratulations, Shraddha. Superb, superb role played. Next, we have the table topics. Who do you think is the best table topic speaker in today's meeting? This is going to be a whammy, believe me.
Ashutosh.
Come on, some guesses.
Ashutosh.
Okay, then.
Well, is it a tie?
I think Toastmaster Babu.
It is not one tie. It is a tie between three.
Wow.
3 Toastmasters, yeah. So for, I think, the first time in our club, we have got a tie, Ashutosh, Rupesh, and Pratiti. The 3 best table topic speakers. Huge, huge round of applause. In fact, like how the general evaluator, DTM Chayan, said, all table topic speakers did a massive job today. Excellent. And last but not the least, the role player, the best role player in the category of the general evaluator, table topic master, and the Toastmaster of the day. This doesn't need any guess. It, without any doubt, goes to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashutosh. A huge round of applause. You did a fantastic job. Please do keep coming in for these roles. It's really, really valuable session that we had today. Well, we will all meet in the new year with a new set of EC members. And I'm sure a lot more participation, because I think it's a holiday season. Everybody's taking a breather. But like I said, Toastmasters don't have breathers. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today, for taking up various roles, and for just attending this meeting. I wanted to, in particular, thank Toastmaster Babu Pratyush. He keeps joining our meetings ever so often. Okay, he's not, I think he's just gone out. He's also one dedicated Toastmaster, shifting from one meeting to another meeting. That is how we learn. So, well, all of you, have a great rest of the year 2020. Most of us do not want to remember it, but there are so many things that we do want to remember this year, and looking forward to a fantabulous 2021. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm officially closing the meeting now. Thank you.
I think so. We are left with the group picture. Just hold on, please. No one logs out.
Hi, Kshitij. Long time no see.
Anurag, are you taking
Toastmaster
a picture?
Shilpa, are you taking the picture?
Yes.
Both of them are asking each other. Okay.
Done.
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year in
Happy
advance.
New Year.
So
Happy New Year,
much in
ma'am.
advance. 4 days in advance.
Yeah, 4 days.
Five,
4 days.
five.